Have you thought about what you're eating for dinner? About what you're really eating? You may think that you eat different foods. Fruits, grains, vegetables, protein, and dairy. But it's really made from the same root, corn. Corn. And it isn't any ordinary corn. You might think that you don't eat a lot of corn, but you're thinking of the corn that you eat on the cob. The corn I'm talking about is everywhere. The corn soda, the corn candy, the corn cereal, the corn dairy, the corn meat, the corn fried food, the corn and chips, the corn gas, the corn and batteries, the corn and building materials, the corn and you. You're probably thinking, how is corn in all these things? Well, you're about to find out. This hidden corn comes in all shapes and sizes, like high fructose corn syrup, which is in a lot of foods and drinks, including soda, cereal, granola bars, and candy. The reason why it is so bad is because it has a large amount of fructose, which is really sugar. You see, there are three types of sugar: fructose, lactose, and glucose. Fructose is the sugar in corn, and lactose is the sugar in milk. Glucose is
Right, keep going.
Glucose is a basic sugar cell and is found in carbohydrates like bread, pasta, rice, and grains. Anyway, back to the hidden corn. Do you know those large containers of vegetable oil? Well, if you look on the back to the ingredients, there will almost always be corn oil in it. There's corn flour, cornmeal, and cornstarch, which is used to make chips, cake, bread, pasta, and to use as batter to fry foods. Now that makes you think, why is corn so bad? Well, that's partly because of the fructose in it, but mainly because of where it is grown nowadays. In factory industrial farms. Large farms that grow the corn in large fields with toxic pesticides that are not good for people. Its fertilizer isn't even fertilizer. It's actually the pesticides making the corn more acidic in your stomach, which is even worse. It can lead to heart disease and cancer. The corn seed is also genetically modified with chemicals so it only lasts one generation, making the farmers plant it over and over again, making them go into debt. You see, the corn is mostly owned by the government, and they have a corrupt system where the corn seed takes about $3.50 to make, but only sells for $1.50. The farmers go in debt. They keep on working, but they can't make any money, so they don't retire at the age they should. Now, do you know that many animals that we eat are fed the corn? This means that you're basically eating the corn that we just talked about. So think back to the factory industrial farms. You know what? That shouldn't be their name. They should be called prison farms because of the way they treat their animals. They practically put their chickens and cows in prison cells. It's really animal abuse. What's even worse is the way they're fed. Chickens and cows are not supposed to eat corn, but they're force-fed it. Also, the cows have to have parts of other cows that poop in their feed. When they eat it, they get sick. To keep them from not dying, the farmers have to inject them with antibiotics just to keep them alive. And that makes them big. And when I say big, I mean big. The chickens are so big they can't fit through the door in the chicken coop and sit inside of it the rest of their lives. Also, the farmers don't have to wait as long to slaughter them as animals that are fed what they're supposed to be eating, which is not corn. For example, for cows, it's grass. For goats, it's grass. For pigs, it's leaves and roots. For sheep, it's grass. For chickens, it's seeds and bugs. Do you kind of see a pattern here? It's not corn, it's mostly grass. The corn also affects all products that come from the animal that are fed corn when it's not in their diet. Although sheep and goats will not eat corn even if you try to force feed them. Some things you can do to avoid eating corn-fed products are to always look for a grass-fed label on meats and dairy. And with chicken products, look for a pasture-raised label and a cage-free label, but never a cage-free label by itself, because it can still be corn-fed. With other foods, you should look on the back for ingredients like maltodextrin and xanthan gum, glutamate, citric crystalline, and lactic acid, high fructose corn syrup, modified cornstarch, or starch in general, and added sugar. Because besides the added sugar, it is made out of corn and is also genetically modified and highly processed. Also, I advise you to do what Michael Pollan wrote in his book, The Omnivore's Dilemma. Don't eat anything that your great-grandmother would not recognize. I hope you have informed you about the secrets behind what you are eating, and that this talk will impact your future eating decisions. Nothing will have a greater impact on your